Good evening. Hello, how is everyone? My name's Wimpy. Welcome to my world. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Boy, we've got a lot of work ahead of us today, in fact. So, there are big changes afoot in Ubuntu MATE land. We're going to be changing sort of a fundamental desktop component, but in order to do so, we need to go right to the very foundations of the distribution and change a bunch of stuff. So in the seeds and the meta packages and the display manager, the desktop startup system, pretty much everything needs to be touched. So we'll just wait for a few more people to catch up with the fact that we've gone live, and then we'll get into all of this. And with that, let's bring in the chat room. If I hit the right button, there we go. Hello everyone, welcome. How are you doing? Also, first of all, the Hungry Horace, thank you very much for the super chat. That was very kind. As I've said in the past, any money this channel makes will be invested back into this channel and the Discord community that complements it. And if you're not already a member, in the description below there's an invite link to our Discord server. And after this live stream, I'll be hanging out in the community centre voice chat room. So if you're not a member there, then now's a good time to head on over and get signed up, join that Discord. There's a lot going on there, not just Ubuntu MATE stuff, but the other projects we've been doing on this channel, and a whole host of other people who are doing interesting things, having interesting conversations about their journey with Linux and how they're using it for media production and all sorts. So, evening Chris Helks. I don't know if I've seen you here before, but welcome. Hello Monica. Monica's one of the Ubuntu MATE team members. Arch Designs, welcome back. And Henrik, welcome back. Ferran, Yannick, welcome back everyone. BK, and hello Rick, welcome back. Thanks very much for stopping by. Right then, so with that, let's get into this. I've prepared a to-do list because I wouldn't be able to keep it all in my head. So let's start by, if I need to push these buttons harder, let's start here. Here's my to-do list. So there's a smaller task we're going to take on as well, which is going to be, we're going to add a webcamoid as the default webcam utility in Ubuntu MATE. And that's really because it's very good. So in fact, I'll tell you what, why don't I do that? I mean, there's no point in removing the chat. So yeah, it's very good. It is much better than cheese in my opinion, and it's what I use all the time, which kind of tells me it's the right tool for the job. And the Ubuntu MATE team have taken a look, and the consensus was, yes, this is a better tool. It should be the thing we use. So we're going to flip over to that for our webcam stuff. So that will be in the default install now. And then this is the task list for moving over to Ayatana Indicators. So I need to pull in a new package from Debian. We need to modify the seeds. The seeds are the very thing that sort of compose an Ubuntu flavour. They prescribe the packages that make up the sort of the package set, everything that's in that flavour. So we need to pull out the indicators that we have been using from that, and also we're going to pull out Slick Greeter, and we're going to put in Arctica Greeter. Now there's a couple of things to cover there. I'll explain more about what Arctica Greeter is when we get to it. Then we need to update and upload the Ubuntu MATE meta packages. So these are the things, if at the command line you apt install Ubuntu MATE desktop caret, that's the task and the meta package that would get installed when you do those things. Then we need to change a whole bunch of settings in the defaults because we've changed to some new indicators, and we're going to change the display manager to Arctica Greeter, so we need to update our configuration accordingly. Then we've got some artwork symlinks we need to make in order to work with the new notifications indicator. And if I get to it, we need to incorporate some a pull request upstream for MATE Optimus, which makes it work with Ayatana Indicators, and with MATE Tweak as well. MATE Tweak is not aware of Ayatana. So you're probably wondering, what is all of this Ayatana stuff? I've just realized I don't have a link here, so let's just GitHub Ayatana. So those of you that have used Ubuntu for some time will be familiar with indicators. They're the whoa! What did I just do there? Drag something to a strange place, that's for sure. Let's just not do that again. So these are the things that sit in the notification area, and they the thing you click on for modifying your volume, connecting to networks, connecting to Bluetooth, accessing your notifications, and a whole raft of other things. And then a whole bunch of other tools and utilities integrate with indicators in some way. So we ship Redshift, which is the red light reduction utility that has an indicator. Something like P-Sensor that monitors all of the hardware sensors for your computer, that has an indicator. There's one for multi-load. There's just loads. And Mike Gabriel a couple of years ago started forking all of those tools from the upstream projects in Ubuntu to this Ayatana. Ayatana was the code name that was used within Ubuntu when indicators and a whole bunch of related technology was originally developed. And the idea is this, that these Ayatana indicators can become a new distribution and desktop agnostic way to access that ecosystem of indicators. And I've been very interested in Mike's efforts here, and then quite recently another developer, Robert Tarry, he completed a big chunk of work that made it possible that these could really come to the forefront. So it's down to Robert's recent efforts that we're in the position to utilize this. So in order to support the effort, I thought we'd switch Ubuntu MATE over to Ayatana Indicators in the 2010 release. It's a good release early in the sort of cycle for the LTS to make a big change like this, to catch any gremlins, before we get to our next LTS, although testing so far has been very positive. And, it's a signpost to the other Ubuntu flavors who use indicators that they could also consider making this transition. These are already in Manjaro, they're in Debian, and they're in Ubuntu now, Ubuntu 2010, as of the last component arrived just 3 short hours ago. So that's the big switch we're going to be doing, and there was one other thing I was going to mention. The big difference is here is that in addition to just desktop environments, this stuff also works for UB ports, and Mike has contacted Marius over at UB ports, and it's my understanding that they're also making this very same transition at the moment as well. So not just desktops, but all things. So it's a brave new world for indicators. So the tasks at hand are everything I showed you here, and we'll have to belt through that. So, hello Richard from Brazil, welcome to the stream. So what's Farron say here? Alright, let me have theme changing right now. Okay, lots of theme changes apparently going on in the desktop world. Hello John, John's also, John Euler is also an Ubuntu MATE team member, welcome to the stream. Hello Robinson, welcome. Dinesh, hello. Anderson, hello there, welcome back. And Stefan, good evening. Right, there's lots of you here. Hello Leroy, welcome. If you're watching this and you've not introduced yourself, please do so. We're a friendly crowd here. It's always nice to see those of you that are returning or people that are new to the stream. Hello Joshua, welcome. And let's do all those YouTubery things. So while you're watching this, if you're enjoying it, give it a thumbs up. If you're getting value from it, subscribe. And if you don't like it, give it 2 thumbs down. And with that, I think we should probably get on with it. Hello, hello, hello OMG Ubuntu. Hello Joey, how on earth are you? Nice to see you here. Hello Mike, welcome. Hello, Polyron. Polyron's also on the Ubuntu MATE team as well. So we got most of the Ubuntu MATE team in the chat here. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Germo. Right then. So let's see. The first thing we want to do is webcam wide. That should be relatively quick. So let's just get rid of some. We don't need that because fortunately the last package arrived and we're done with that. And this is another copy of my to-do list. So let's go and update the seeds. So in Ubuntu MATE, I should have Ubuntu MATE Groovy. I'll just make sure I haven't got any changes there that I've not got here. It should be fine. Cool. So there's a core seed and a desktop seed. I'll check the live seed as well. So Ubuntu MATE has two meta packages: Ubuntu MATE Core, which is like a minimal version of the flavour desktop operating system, if you like, and then desktop, which is everything, which includes things like LibreOffice and all of the additional applications. So it's these seed files that dictate what makes up the distro. So in here, this is core, so this is not where I want to be looking, because at the moment I'm interested in changing over webcamoid. So we're going to ditch cheese here, and that's going to be removed now, and we're going to add I believe it's just webcamoid. So I'll just do just make sure there's no other packages that are part of this that we need. You'll notice that this is using Qt 5. Ordinarily, I'd be a little bit nervous about that, but we already have most of Qt 5 in Ubuntu MATE as a result of pulling in Celluloid, the media player, which has a dependency on YouTube DL, which has a dependency on a web parsing engine, which has a dependency on most of Qt 5. So given most of Qt 5 is already sitting around there anyway, well, whatever. So just looking at the depends here, that's all pretty good, and there's no recommends or suggests, so that's good. So that change is kind of it. The other one we need is this. So we'll change the desktop minimal remove. This is the thing that runs at the end of an install to yank out. If you say I want to do a minimal install, the SquashFS file system gets put on your disk, and then all of these packages get sucked out in order to give you the minimal thing. So let's go and find cheese in this list. There we go, there's cheese. I'm just going to zap all of this. This is all of the additional packages that cheese pulls in, and I will on another day add whatever needs to. In fact, let's just add the thing for webcamoid now, because we do know that there's going to be something. We do know that we're going to need to remove webcamoid at the very least, and I think there's another package like the plug data. There we go. So we'll get rid of the data as well, and we'll get rid of the plugins. That rather alarming moment where I hear my notifications going off. What does that mean? Is it important? Doesn't look like it. Right then. So that's that done. There will probably be other things we need to remove here, and those lovely people in the QA team, the Ubuntu MATE QA team, will figure out what that is there. Well done, McPhail. First dad joke of the evening there, with if you get to say who moved my cheese. So although I'm removing cheese from the seeds here, this means that cheese will no longer be in the default install of Ubuntu MATE 2010 and onwards. If you've installed 2004 and upgrade at some point to a newer version of Ubuntu MATE, you'll have cheese left behind. It will be down to you to hoover up. Right then. Right then. Let's just take a look. So those are the changes. Bizarre diff. Right, I can see my notifications on the tablet here, so that's good. Right then, so let's just do you can't see me, so let's just do that. Replace cheese with webcamoid. And Joey, I don't know if you've looked at webcamoid, but that might be one you want to have a look at for covering in OMG Ubuntu. It's a proper webcam application, full configuration. It's like a super light version of OBS in some respects. You can do basic scene compositing and special effects and recording and all sorts. It's quite decent. I like it because all of the capture devices that I've got, all the cameras that I've got, everything in all of the different flavors is fully configurable with webcamoid, and Cheese simply can't do that. It doesn't like some of the capture devices. So how are we doing there? Can you hear the you can hear the notifications going off, can you? Okay, let's we can fix that. We'll do that. Right then. Mayak, thank you very much. You've just tipped through the tipping jar on the thing. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. And as I said earlier, any money that this channel makes gets invested back into this channel or the Discord community that complements it. And you haven't joined our epic Discord server, there's an invite link in the description below, so by all means go and join. I'll be in the community center voice chat after this stream, so if you've got any additional questions or follow up afterwards, we can have a chat. So that's webcamoid done. So now we need to go through the slightly more complex task. Let's just check the live seed. So now what we're going to do is make sure that the Ayatana indicators are in the distribution, and we remove the Ubuntu indicators. I am suddenly aware that I learned something the other day, and there's another change I'm going to need to make to Ubuntu MATE, but we're not today. We don't want to change too much all at once. So Ali Profile Manager, we won't be needing that because that we have a built-in accessibility indicator in the new Arctica greeter, so that is something we can remove. Okay, that all looks fine. So those are any packages that are specific to the live session that you boot, you know, when you do the install, that session. So let's take a look. In Core, I imagine I may have the, well, here's the first change we need to do. So one slight limitation of Arctica Greeter right now is that we don't have a GUI to configure it, but one will come. So we will getting rid of that, and then Arctica Greeter goes in here. Now Arctica Greeter is a fork of the Unity Greeter from Unity 7, as Slick Greeter is as well. But Arctica Greeter uses the Ayatana indicators in its notification area, so you get the same indicator experience in the display manager and in the desktop itself. So that's a definite advantage, and we've talked about how we're going to provide a graphical UI to configure it. But it also has some additional features. So Arctica Greeter can also do remote authentication, and it can do remote desktop. So that's something we'll get into on another occasion about how we can make the most of Arctica. Arctica's from Mike Gabriel, and it's a complementary set of products for X2Go, which is the remote terminal services solution. So let's just look down this list here. This is all, here we go. This is where it gets interesting. So this should be quite straightforward. We should be able to stick Ayatana in front of each of these. That we do have indicator application. We have date time. Now this one we don't have. There is no, well, there is a messages indicator for Ayatana, but there are currently some package conflicts which we haven't overcome yet. So that's temporarily going to get sidelined. Indicator notifications we have, indicator power, indicator session, and indicator sound. So that's actually probably as tough as it's going to get in here. MATE indicator applet. So that is something I'm going to have to deal with in a moment. And this all looks fine. So this list of packages here is everything that makes up Ubuntu MATE. And you might be wondering, why have some things got braces around them, like MATE HUD, and why do some things, like MATE applets, do not? What that means is, well, let's use applets and calc, for example. Calc means this is a recommended package in the meta package, and without the braces it means it's a hard dependency. What that also means is anything with braces around it, you can apt remove MATE calc without upsetting the whole meta package for the entire desktop environment. So that's what all of this stuff is prescribing here, and I think that we don't need as well, for the same reasons I mentioned earlier, because we've got that indicator built into, and we don't need this. Okay, right then. The reason we're removing those things is because these are all built into Arctica Greta, although we are going to separate it out as its own separate module at a later date. I say we. Mike probably is going to do that work. Right then. I think that looks like everything. Not seeing anything else here we need to consider. Right. Okay. So, I'll just a quick look in chat here. Oh, I'm glad to hear that you're happy about this change, Polaron. Yeah, it's been on the agenda for a while. It's all down to Robert Tarry and the fine work he's done. It's the Ayatana indicators work just like the Ubuntu indicators, but without the GTK3 patches that Ubuntu carries. So even though I obviously have access to those patches because they're in Ubuntu, these will work without those patches, which is why Robert's motivation is he loves indicators. His background was Ubuntu. He runs Manjaro these days, but he wanted that indicator experience in his MATE desktop on Manjaro, so he did the hard work of figuring out how to make this stuff work just like they always have done, but without the GTK3 patches. So it's a pretty impressive bit of work. Good evening, Esme. It's 5 AM. Oh, goodness. I love to see the wholesale switch from MATE menu to Brisk menu. Yeah. So Brisk menu is used in nearly all of the Ubuntu MATE desktop layouts now. It's my preference for sure. And in fact, a new version of Brisk menu was released earlier today and is already in Groovy. Right then. Hi Joshua. Right, okay. Hello Chris as well, welcome. Right then, I think I'll just stick the chat to one side. We should only see 2 changes there. So, we've got the removal of the accessibility profile manager because we don't need that, and it's removed there. The transition to Ayatana indicators here, and the switch to Arctica Greta there. So we will commit all of that. Right. And we'll push that up to the seeds. So those are in place. So if we just go and check my little to-do list, we'll make sure that we're doing this. So we've done that bit, and we've done that bit. But I now need to update and upload Ubuntu MATE meta packages. So let's just... In fact, this was the last piece I was waiting for, as you can see, 3 hours ago, the updated sound indicator. So let's just look at the Ubuntu MATE. This is hard to type and not typo it. Ubuntu MATE meta package 1263. So I haven't changed that since Focal. So let's go and check that. So we'll update the meta package now. There it is. Huh. Okay, I'm just going to put chat to one side. 12 hours difference. Hello, Big Pod. Welcome. Have I typoed it, McPhail? Is that what you're saying? Oh, you're right. Look at that. Thank you. Thank you. I love it when the chat point out my big mistakes. Let's just do this right. That would have been a pretty significant change. That is the display manager, so not having that would be pretty catastrophic. So back to here, and what were we doing? Ubuntu MATE meta. So we should have Ubuntu MATE meta 1.63. Okay, I think I'm going to need to code that at the very least. Okay, let's just bring the chat back in. So there's a whole bunch of changes here. So this is a configuration file for Germinate, and what Germinate does is it takes the seeds, you can see the metaphor appearing now, it takes the seeds and turns those into meta packages. So we need to update this for Groovy, because the last time I used this, it was for Focal when we were doing the LTS. So let's just go, and I'm doing this by hand because I don't trust search and replace on important files like this. I just want to make sure I eyeball every change. Okay, that all looks fine. We need to change this, and there's the seeds, and that all looks fine. Okay, so that's the configuration for the seeds. We'll just close these down. I shouldn't be needing those anymore. And I don't know. I'm just going to stick the chat to one side. I don't know there's anything else. We don't need to change the package map because technically none of that's changed. No, that's not changed at all. So what you'll see here is these other files are what this will generate. So we are going to run this. It will take a little while. In fact, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll actually, is that in the, yeah, it's in the right window. So let's run this over here. And there we go. Let's just make that a bit bigger. So we'll run that, we'll change in there, and we will run update. This is going to spew out a whole bunch of stuff, but that's going to, for each of the architectures, pull in those seeds and regenerate our meta packages. So we'll just let that run. because that takes a few minutes to run. So while that's running, we will head back to the code editor, and let's just take a look here, see if there's any questions now. I don't think Webcamoid is in the Ubuntu archives for 1804. I don't know about the version on their website, what version of Qt 5 it uses, and if it's, you know, what version of Ubuntu. Hi, Ard van der Marel, thank you for joining. Hello, Dinesh. Yeah, Webcamoid is ace. It's the exemplar webcam configuration tool. Really closes an application gap, I think, on the Linux desktop. Yeah, Germinate is the thing that creates those meta packages. Hello, Morton. Welcome back. I'm afraid I can't speak Arabic or whatever language that is. Hello, Vinter. Right then, so the next task then, let's just bring up our task list here. Is we're doing this bit and we're doing this bit, but I skipped over this one. So we're going to, in Debian, the version of MATE Indicators applet has support for Ayatana Indicators, and that's not in Ubuntu yet because I had prevented that version from coming into Ubuntu for 2004 because at that time that change would have been incompatible, but I want it now. So I'm going to go and ask use a tool to go and pull that deb package or that source package into Ubuntu. So the command we use is sync package, and I want to pull from the unstable repository in Debian, and I want to receive it into the Groovy proposed, and the package is MATE Indicators. Is it Indicators applet or Indicator applet? Let's try that. See what it says. Yeah, MATE Indicator applet, I think. Think. Here it comes. There we go. So it's now asking me, these are the differences between, you know, what's in Ubuntu, what's in Debian. Do I really want to sync this over the top? And the answer is yes, please. So that will now trigger off a manual sync of packages. At this point, just for a few more days, we've still got the Debian import running. So all new packages that land in Debian Unstable automatically make their way into the Ubuntu archive for Groovy. And that's how all of this Ayatana work landed, because Mike Gabriel was busily uploading it all over the last 2 or 3 days. It's all landed in Debian Unstable and then subsequently being pulled in as source packages into Ubuntu and then rebuilt in the Ubuntu archive. So we can now say that we've done that, which is good. And this is still running. So the next thing we'll need to look at is updating the settings and the defaults and things like that. Let's just go and see how our meta package builds are going. Oh, right. Okay. It looks like we're done. So we've revved the package slightly. So we've got a new revision of the package. And if we look at the changelog file, this is what Germinate has done for us. So it says that it's added, you know, these things to these packages, right? So that's everything that it's done. That also looks like why. So I'm just looking at this line here. I had those of you on the Ubuntu MATE team. I saw that Norbert pointed out that the EFI installs were busted today. I think this is also pulling in some changes that are going to mean that that's fixed. So here we can see removing cheese and removing the old indicators, removing that accessibility stuff, removing slick greeter, and hopefully up here we see indicator application, date, time, notifications, power, and sound. So there, that's all there. So we will now change this to Groovy because we want to upload this to Groovy. We'll save that. We'll then build a source package, which is done like that. And I need to put in my super secret encryption key. And then we will upload that to the archive. And we're done. So that's that step complete. So Yannick is pleased that he's got webcamoid working. So McPhail says that he often gets duplicated Wi-Fi indicators in MATE 2004. I've tried my very best to prevent that from happening. There is a race condition. It's possible this may help with that. But there's another change we're going to be making in the future, not for 2010, but in the future, where in a moment you're going to see me make some changes to the what are called the auto start files. And instead of using auto start desktop files in the future, we'll use systemd to bring up the user session, and that should help us prevent those race conditions from happening. So I'm hopeful it might actually help, this change we're making, but in the future we have a proper fix. Right then. See you, Polyron. Thanks for stopping by. Right then. What was I going to do next? We're going to go and look at all of the settings files. So let's go and get that updated. So there's quite a bunch of work to be done here, I think. Let's just make sure that I don't have any outstanding changes. No, it's all good. Right. Let's think now. Oh, I've got the notes here. So, G schema overrides. Okay, so let's go and edit user share. I'll just stick this to one side. User share, not like DM. glib schemas, and we'll just take all of those overrides. So these are the G settings overrides. So this is where I change defaults that exist in upstream applications for MATE and other things, and say what I want the defaults to be in the distribution. So what we can also look at is here, further down my little to-do list. Is it in here? No, it's not. It's in the web view. So when we prototyped this a couple of days ago, and the QA team ran it, and I created this little shell script that they came and grabbed, which did an automated migration of an existing Ubuntu MATE Groovy install, and it installed some packages, removed some packages, and in here I also worked out what our new settings should be. So I can rather conveniently do this. So these are the settings for Arctica Greeter. So we'll just drop over here, and this was for Slick Greeter, so we'll just highlight all of that and crush it. So there we go. And then you can see there's just a few lines that are different because, as I said, both Slick Greeter and Arctica Greeter were forked from Unity Greeter, so they share a lot in common. So that's the first change, and I think whilst I'm here we might as well we'll do this by hand, because why not. We'll get that commit. Arctica Greeter. There we go. And we'll go and look at the other thing. Simon, no, because that's the work of the devil. That numlock on. The thing about numlock on is that just doesn't work for me because I don't have any 10-key keyboard. So if I auto numlock on, it screws a whole bunch of laptops which have, you know, numlocks built into the keypad. So autoing numlock on is actually more invasive for a lot of people than, you know, leaving it off and having some people, you know, choose to do it. Right then. So Joshua says, do you need me to start a VM and grab any schemas? No, I think I've got everything in my notes. We'll see how we go. Hello, Eric. Welcome from Los Angeles. Thanks for joining the stream. If any of you have joined since we started, do introduce yourselves in the chat if you haven't already. It's always good to see everyone. And, you know, thumbs up and subs, all those YouTubery things. That'll be good too. Right then, let's move on to the next thing. So here we go. Here are some defaults for some of the new indicators. So we'll take the date time. This may be new actually. I don't think date time had any overrides before. So I will just search in here for date time. No. What? That's for the greeter, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Date time is, that's the only place that exists. So we'll bring that in. Let's just put it down here where it would make sense. I do believe it would be sensible to put it about there. So this is new. So I've added some default sounds for the date time, so when things go off. Hello Chris, welcome. Hello Simon. Oh sorry, yeah, I was just talking to you about numlock. Right, so that's that change. We'll just commit that, I think. We'll save that. That was nearly bad. So what we'll do here is say add default sounds that's that done. Next one up is indicator session, so that we should be able to find in here somewhere. Goodness me. Let's try Control F, shall we? So it does say there's two. Here it is, yeah. So this is the same change, but I'll just move it down to, I'm trying to keep these mostly alphabetical. Here we go. So there's that change. We don't need that. So that's that one done. And hello Quails, welcome. So Big Pod is on, well, Big Pod, you're on a team. Currently I think I've put you in the Mate desktop team, but you're kind of doing stuff across the board at the moment. Big Pod's working on some automated CI/CD, and he asks, doing the imports, and the code import requires listing a project. What project should I put in there? I don't remember. I'll look at that a bit later. Hello, the R podcast. Welcome. Is that R as in the language? I imagine it must be. Right, so next up we want to make this change for the notifications. In fact, I'll just drop this in the right place as I'm in the right place. we'll drop these in here because that's where they need to go, and we'll just find where the old ones were. There they are, there's the old ones, so we'll drop those and we will just add that. There we go. So let's have a look. Okay, cheers, Big Pod. And the R podcast says, "Yep, you've got it. I'm a data scientist." Ah, and you're it's you that spoke to us on the Ubuntu podcast. Yes, so I also do a podcast with my friends Alan and Mark. So if you like a bit of Linux and Ubuntu podcast related material, go to ubuntupodcast.org. Get yourself subscribed to that. It's good listening, apparently. Oh, I can't pronounce your name, but you're asking the state of Mira Mate. Very much a work in progress. We're some way off from being finished there. And Andrew Hazen says, if Mate is moving to systemd for starting services, will you be looking at using slices to give them priorities for giving priorities to shell apps, background processes? Right. The answer to that question is yes, although at the moment, what I was talking about earlier, we're not going to move all of Mate to systemd. We're going to start with just bringing up all the indicator stuff under systemd. Mike and I are going to do that in Debian and Ubuntu as a first stab, and herein lies the rub. It's a bit awkward because Mate is very popular in the BSD world, so switching over to systemd exclusively is a bit of a pain point for them. So we're going to, and also the Ayatana stuff we want the BSDs to use as well. So we're going to try out how we can manage build time configuration of that stuff so that we don't mess them up. And if we get that right, then we'll look at doing the same in Mate at a future date. But yes, in the end, we will want to do that. There are a few processes that bring up the session that could do with using slices. Bye, Monica. Thanks for stopping by. Right then, let's go back to my list because I think that's the first part of what I needed to do, which was, are there any other? There's no others. So that's all of those default settings. So let's just look at the to-do list. We've done the gschema overrides. So now what we need to do is remove references to the Ubuntu indicators. Oh, did I not commit that? I did. Okay. So somewhere in here, in user lib Ubuntu MATE, there we go, the settings overlay. So let's just edit that. This is a little integration piece that makes sure that Ubuntu MATE has the appropriate default configuration, but it tries to do so in a sensitive way so as not to tread on things that have been, if you're one of those crazy people that have installed multiple desktop environments side by side, tries not to tread on other things. So now that indicators and HUD are enabled by default at the system level, any duplicate auto start files can be removed. So that can all be dropped. Okay, so we don't need that anymore. Don't think there's anything else in here, at least not at the moment. So we'll save that. I think there may be something in the rules here. So let's just okay, Yannick, I'll look at that. I've had a few people report that the OBS snap is working hard for them. I'm confused by that because I'm using it right here. I don't have this problem, but I've got an idea how we can try and isolate where the problem is. So I will look into that. Okay, right then. I need to make sure now that there are no indicator files created by, so let's just code the rules file, because somewhere I'm sure, here they are. This is what I was expecting to find. So we don't need to do that, and we can drop all of these indicator application things here. So none of those are going to be required anymore. So all of that can go. And then in the Debian folder, I'll just do this. Oh, hello. I've managed to hit preview there. There we go. In the Debian folder, we've probably got a bunch of... There we go. There they are. So, don't need any of those anymore. Let's just make sure we've got no other mentions of indicator stuff. Oh, that was one of the things I did recently to try and improve the I wonder what that shows up as and if I need to change that, or I haven't looked at that. Okay, that's something I might need to just go and check quickly. Indicator app autocomplete. Yannick. Thank you very much, Yannick. That's very kind. I've improved my alerts as well, so you can actually see what people have written now, and it doesn't all get garbled. And I used your name as the test string. Right. What's this? Here we go. So we need to edit this file as well. This is the thing that says what file should be installed, and yes, we need to get rid of that, and that. Don't need any of those. Is there anything here I need to be mindful of? No, that's all fine. Chris, thank you very much. That's very kind as well. I am not using ZFS, no. Not on workstations, at least. Right then. Can I see anything else talking about it? We don't care about the change log. So we don't care about any of those. They're all gone. We've made those changes. So the one thing I'm aware of I may need to change is we've got these layout files. This is the when you use the layout switcher in Ubuntu MATE to move between the different layouts. These are the things that drive that behavior. And in there's an object called indicator applet complete. So I'm just going to take a look at one of these and see how that's declared, because it may be that name has changed. I really hope it hasn't. So we've got the top and bottom panels, the menu bar, the quick link for Firefox, the notification area, and that is the applet ID. So I think the only way I can test this is to, in fact, I've already got a terminal, haven't I? We had one earlier, so let's go over here. We'll run up QuickMU and we'll run this VM, which should have the Ayatana indicators in place, and then I can go and see. So in fact, actually, I'll just bring this into the right screen. So this is a VM. I wonder what my password was for this. My usual, it was test. Right then, so this is from a few days ago. Why is that not working? Am I in the wrong screen? There we go. That's from a test run, that's fine. There are no bugs that I care about in this VM. So where shall we look? We'll look in. We'll start tweak, which is something I know I need to update, but we'll save this current panel as Ayatana. Okay, and is it in MATE panel? I think. Yeah, it can subscribe as well. You can do that. So we should have a new layout in here called Ayatana Tweak. So if I just look, in fact, let's just make this a bit bigger. And if I just cat the layout file. I've moved into the wrong thing. Ayatana Tweak layout. So let's have a look here. It's indicator applet complete factory. Okay. Indicator applet complete. It's all in camel case. So maybe that's a change. But the object name is the same. Okay, let's just go. I'm in the wrong view now. Let's just take a look back at the code editor. Brilliant. Okay, so the good news is the name hasn't changed. Oh, and of course the name hasn't changed. This is the same. This is the same component. Right. Okay, so that's all fine. I think what I've learned there is there are no significant changes I need to be concerned with there. So, hello, Bill. Welcome. Hi, Dan. Hey, Diddle Dan. How you doing? Nice background. Is that the background, the green background that you could see Paul, or something else? Let's just go and shut down that VM. We don't need this anymore. So we'll get rid of you, and we'll just shut this VM down. Right then, so I think we're done here, right? I think we've got all of that. Let me just catch up. Oh, the big blue theme background. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Double thumbs down the video. Nice one, Dan. You know the drill. Well done. And give it a thumbs up as well, then you've got all your bases covered, right? Right. Let me just stick the thing to one side, and I think we're done. I think we're done. What did we do? We got rid of all of those. We've ditched this override because none of that is necessary anymore. We have dropped these desktop files from the install because they're no longer required. And we have dropped them from the cleanup, the old integration cleanup, because they're no longer required there. So, I think we're good. So, and the reason why we don't need any of these is because these are we can use the upstream desktop files, the XTG auto start files from the Ayatana project. Everything we need to do the right thing is already in those. We don't need to mess around with them in any way. Whereas the ones that are in Ubuntu for the Ubuntu indicators don't always have the necessary keywords in them to auto start for the MATE desktop. So we created an overlay in the MATE namespace for that configuration. This all simplifies things hugely for me because I no longer have to keep that stuff in my head. We can just use everything. Oh, I've already added that one. Everything that comes from the upstream project. Right, I think we'll just do this. So, has anyone tried streaming in 4K? I don't think anything will allow you to stream in 4K. Maybe YouTube does, but I don't think Twitch does it? Oh yes, the double thumbs down. It's the best rule of the internet. Hello, Bill. Hey, Bill. Welcome. I just twigged. It's you, Bill. It's actually you. Right then. What's left? Anything, or are we all done? So we are dropping all the Ubuntu indicator integrations. So we will, I'm just Big Pod, hang on, asking a question. So the recipes that you're, so Big Pod, the recipes that you're making, you should use the Debian packaging from Debian Salsa as the Deb package part, and you should use those Git repositories that we've mirrored to Launchpad as the upstream Git master. So it's fusing those two together. And don't be upset if at the moment the Debian package fails to build from source the tip of MATE Git, because there will be differences, and we'll unpick those bones another day. Hello, Rob. Good evening. So we're going to just bump the version on this package because this is now going to be the 2010.0. So we've got our change here. Whoa! Oh, I forgot to use the wrong flag. Oh well, let's just do this. So this is for Groovy. Save that. And the other thing we did was And what did we do? We did something with that summarizes what we've done here, so we'll save that. And I think we can build that package and upload it. So we'll build a new source package. Let's just think about this. Normally I would build these in a PPA and get the QA team to test it, but I'm feeling a bit gung-ho. So we're just not going to do that. We're going to put these directly in the archive, because if there are problems here, the QA team are very kindly going to tell me about those problems and we'll fix them as bug fixes. So Bill, I don't know if you were here earlier, but I saw Norbert talk about EFI booting not working. I think the new meta package I uploaded earlier should fix that, because it pulled in a new shib. So that's something to check as well. Hey Super Strat, how you doing? Right, hey Timothy, good evening. Right, okay, so if we go back to the big to-do list of stuff, how are we doing here? We did do that, didn't we? So we did that. We've removed references to Ubuntu Indicators in the settings packages. So next up, it's to go and do some work in the artwork package. So because we're using a different we're using a fork of indicator notifications. Just like last time, we worked with upstream to merge all of those changes in. And we will now go and make sure that the artwork overrides support that Ayatana version of the notifications applet. So we will drop here. Let's just pop that away. Ubuntu MATE, artwork. There is probably, almost certainly, changes from upstream, because I know Luke did some work. There we go. He fixed a whole bunch of stuff, as you can see. Busy boy. Thank you for that, Luke. Just looking at those changes. I see, that's create. Okay, fine. So, similarly, we are going to... In fact, we won't do this just yet. So, in... if I need to check my notes, because... down here, I actually, in the script, we did this, so it's in ambient MATE, in status 22 pixels as SVGs, and the same for radiant MATE, so we need to go and update both of those. Share. Right then. So I think we can just do... There we go. So we're just sim-linking the same art assets to a different namespaced version of the artwork, so we don't have to create new art assets. We can just link the existing ones to the new name. And there we go. We should see there they are, those 4, and we now need to do the same for Radiant Mate. Unread. Unread D&D. Unread red. So I'm just using fish, outstanding, red D&D. So git status, we should have 8 in there now. Those ones for that, and then this one. So there, we're all done. Should have done that in the other one. Didn't mean to do that. Where are we? In the right place. So there we go. There's our new files, which are all symlinks to the appropriate places. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Radiant Mate. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Ambient Mate. Right then, that's that done. So let's just bring in the chat again. Sorry about that. Had you off for a little bit whilst I was just catching up there. Okay, thanks for that, Bill. Spam. Thank you, Bill. I can see there was some spam and you've cleaned it up. So thank you for that. Right. Hello, Mark. Welcome. Right then. Yes. Yes, their indicator notification artwork with roguelike elements. Listeners to the Ubuntu podcast, you're welcome. Right then. So I think we'll now prepare this package. Let's try and do it the right way this time. So this is going to be 2010.0. So this will be for Groovy. Okay, push that up. Build the source package. Right then, this takes a while to build this. I'd forgotten about that because it's got a whole heap of assets in it. Right. Come on, build faster. Right then. Gravy baby, groovy baby. More like it. Gosh, takes ages to pull all that artwork together. Cheerio, Yannick, thank you for stopping by. You're welcome, my pleasure. There we go, that's built now. So let's put that in the Groovy archive. Let's just do this and do oh, I'm uploading while streaming. Oh, this could be good. Hopefully this will be fine. This will be fine. Should be fine. New internet. We got new internet a little while ago. Should be able to do this. In fact, I can already see it paying dividends because that used to take forever to upload. Right then, so that's that done. And then we'll do upload. Here we go. So this was an upload to Groovy. And it was 2010.0, right? That's all we used there. 2010.0, no suffixes, nothing clever there. That's that done. And then the other package we changed was the settings. So I'm just going to go back to Ubuntu MATE settings. The change log is good. It's going to have the same commit message because it's actually the same version number, isn't it? It's the first of the 2010s for that. Right, that is good. So we've got to the end of that. How long have we been going for? 1 hour 20 minutes. Okay, so that brings us to this point here. So let's try and do Mate Optimus because that should be quick. That should be quick. I'm feeling super confident about that. Oh, I didn't need to do that. Let's just Optimus. Mate Optimus is the thing that does the NVIDIA Prime GPU switching. And I should have a PR sitting here for me. There we go. This is from Mike earlier in the year. This is what adds the Ayatana indicator support, which I'd been avoiding pulling in, but now we can have that. So we will say that's all good. So we are going to rebase and merge. That's fine because there's only one commit. We don't need to squash it. Let's bring up the chat because I can see you typing in the other window. So Kate, oh, I don't like taking on these. Nakamura is your last name by the looks of it. Says not related to Mate or Ubuntu, but assuming you have experience with programming and none with GUIs, how difficult is it to learn? It's GTK. It's very well documented. So I find that providing you can read the documentation and you're familiar with things like callbacks in a language, you should be fine. And then I use Glade to create the user interfaces themselves graphically, and then bind the code to those. I noticed my spinner pull request uses 100% while waiting for a password. Chris, what pull request is this you're referring to? And Jim says, were you worried about the chat falling on your head? No. Good for you. I wish you that. Oh, I see. No. Right. Let's see. See you. Thank you for stopping by. Okay. Also, my bot has just said about my Twitch channel. I've actually started streaming to my Twitch channel. I'm doing Linux gaming stuff over there when my fancy takes me, and I was streaming Fall Guys last weekend. It's great. I love it a lot. Oh, I see. We reverted, Chris. So that one there, we reverted it because other changes meant that it was no longer required. So somewhere in the commit history that got dropped. So what was this other one? I saw somebody fixed a thing. So let's just take a look here. What have we got? I'm gonna have to look at this in a bit more detail because at first glance I'm not sure, and I want to get these fixes in. I can put this in as a bug fix after the fact. So okay, that's a bug we can fix as well. Okay, right then, so Mate Optimus has had that merged. So now, yes, Andrew, Fall Guys works under Steam with Proton. I used Proton 5, so I just went into my Steam settings, set my Proton version to Proton 5, bought the game for Windows. You know, I'd already had it set to run everything for Windows in Proton, and it just works. So you'll find 2 multi-hour live streams of Fall Guys, and I think I've got about 13 hours. Well, between me and my daughter, we've got 13 hours racked up in Fall Guys under Proton. So yeah, it works excellently, and it's bags of fun. I love playing it with my daughter. It's hilarious. In fact, Andy, I had Neil Gomper join me in the second stream, so he was playing on Fedora as well. He was playing Fall Guys under Proton on Fedora, and I was obviously on Ubuntu. Right, I just need to engage my brain because I need to go to my packaging for Mate Optimus, which is which I know where it is. So let's go and find that. Let's go and find that and just update that. Oh, in fact, actually, thinking about it, we need to go in here. We need to make a release. We will just deal with this here. Releases. What have I got? A draft release. That shouldn't be there. Okay, well, that's convenient. We can do this. Oh, actually, no, it's not. Let's go here. We want to... If you're not subscribed, do the subscribing thing like it just said. So let's just pull that in. Oh, what did I do there? That's interesting. What did I just do? Oh, I opened a directory. Oh. Oh, okay, so that's a leftover empty directory. I'll clean that dangler up, I think, in a moment. So somewhere in here we should have a version number. There we go. Go away. So you're going to be that version there. bump that version. There we go. That's good to know, Ferren. Thanks for that. We were asking ourselves if some of the little weird things we were seeing were because we were on Linux, or if it was just the state of Fall Guys. You know, generally it sounds like it is just the state of Fall Guys. Hello, Sneaky. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. I love pop-ups that interrupt you. Yeah, it's my favourite thing. Yeah, so Neil seemed to suggest that, didn't he? Yeah, and Jim. A while back you mentioned tucking yourself under the... Yeah, I had to think about that. If I'm going to put myself anywhere, it will be on top of the chat window. Make the chat lower and put myself on top. But I haven't had time to do that. I've been doing other things. Right, so we've bumped the version to 2010. So now we can do a release up here. Did I push? I have now. Right. So we've just bumped the version. Let's just come back here. Right then, we should be good to go. Publish. There we go. Good job. So that we've got a new upstream release of MATE Optimus. Now we need that because this, well, we don't need that window anymore. We now need to go and build a new version of this package, which is going to be in, just stick the chat to one side for a moment. PKG, this is where the packages for git pull minus I bet there's stuff that's, oh no, we're in good shape. So there's the Ayatana Indicator patch, which we no longer need. So let's just close down some unnecessary tabs here. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Or this. Or any of this. Or any of that even. Right then. So we know we're not going to need that patch. So let's start with a new upstream version. It's going to be 2010.0-1 and it's a new upstream release. That's fine. Wah. So we'll commit that message. We have a very specific style we use in the Debian packaging team, so that's that done. And with that, we will now get rid of the what's going on? Oh, there are no patches. Oh, I see, because Mike's already made this change. Right. What? Okay. Bit confused by why he would write that because I've just merged his patch, but okay. Right then. That will do then, won't it? So we can now just upload this to... we'll do an Ubuntu, just I'll bring chat back, sorry about that. Ubuntu 1, so we're going to do an Ubuntu direct upload. In fact, let's not do a direct upload. Let's do a PPA. Let's just make sure this thing works properly. There we go. We need to grab the source package. So let me just take a look. Put your face in the top left. Then I'd have nothing beneath me. Michael says, happy to have the chance to drop into one of these live streams. I'm glad you're able to join us, Michael. Welcome. And also, thumbs up and subscribe, all those lovely things as well. While doing stuff, can I approve this? Oh, let's try and get on the right virtual screen. Copy link address. Let's see where Bill's going to take me. Change the HUD hint to left alt key. I'll leave this here. I'll get to that in a moment, Bill. One sec. Right then. Where were we? We were just doing this, weren't we? So we've pulled in the new package. Just stick that to one side a sec. Build a new source package. Good. Deput that. To, we'll stick it in the play park, Bill, because this is all linked to. Actually, do I want to do that? No, let's not. Let's put it in. Let's put it in playground. So. Right then, so that's in the playground. That should build just fine. I can push that to Debian because that change is just a bump. So that's fine. I'm pretty confident this is going to build. Just thought of something. Yes, Mike's made the necessary change. Good. Right, okay, we're in good shape. Right, so that package is updated and it should be building. Hello, Pete. Welcome from Australia. G'day. I can do the accent and everything. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for stopping by and introducing yourself. So. Let's just have a little think about this. Let's just come up to the big fat face a second. So, if we, in fact, let's go back to our list of stuff. I think we are at this point where we've made that upstream change there. All those indicators are in. These were the caveats I was aware of. We know about that. We talked about this. We talked about that. We're all good. This is a separate thing I've been working on, is MATE 1.24.1 being SIU'd to focal. So there's a whole bunch of work gone on there. We're in good shape. So really, that just leaves MATE tweak to become Ayatana Indicators aware. And I think that is probably worthy of a stream of its own, because there's some stuff to be getting on with there. So this is a good stopping point, I think. Oh, actually, no, it's not. We need to go and deal with Ubuntu MATE settings, right? Ubuntu MATE settings. Ubuntu MATE settings needs a release. So let's just go and deal with that. That will be up here. We will change that to Ubuntu MATE settings. The last bunch of commits were all of that stuff. Oh. Copy all of that. Let's get this in. Draft a new release. It's 20.10.0. 10.0. Just get rid of all of that. And there we go. We're done. No, Michael, have not got round to migrating the Yaru theme to Ubuntu MATE. Really want to get on that, but I've been super busy the first half of this year. You've probably noticed the world's in a bit of a pickle. It's kept me busy. So, yeah. That's right. It's definitely, you know, in the plans for sure. Definitely want to do that without a doubt. I think that would be the lick of paint that Ubuntu MATE needs to really set itself up for, you know, the next few releases. But I don't think we're going to get there for 2010, if I'm honest. But, you know, it's on the list. Right, so Ubuntu MATE settings, we're done. So if we just go back to our list of stuff, we've done the indicators applets, we've got all the Ayatana and Artica Greeter stuff in the meta packages. So let's go and have a look. Let's go and see if that landed. Where are we? There we go. So the new version is currently in proposed. So that will work its way out of proposed in due course. Oh. That looks bad. Bother. What's going on here? The following package was automatically installed and no longer required. The following package was automatically installed and no longer required. What? Somewhere up here. Oh, this is going to be one for me to go and figure out. Why did that fail? Oh, okay. I don't think that's me. I think that's actually Germany that's having a problem there. Okay. I will investigate that in the morning because that's an odd one. Yeah, it's time's a bummer, isn't it? You know, sometimes you really want to do some stuff and you just don't get enough of that time to get on and do it. So that's a bit disappointing. What else did we upload? We also uploaded settings. So let's go and look at that. So that is also set in proposed. I think the build system is probably undergoing some sort of transition at the moment because these are super trivial packages that should not be unmet dependent. Yeah, something's. Yeah, this is not. I haven't broken my own stuff here. I need to follow up on that tomorrow with my colleagues at work and figure out what's going on. That's not exclusive to what I've done. Okay, I can borderline live with that, although it looks like I've got a busy morning now, or someone has at least. Right, okay, so what else did we upload? Not that it will have worked. The artwork package. I guess we're going to be seeing the same issue here as well. In some respects it'll be good if we do, because it will confirm it's a general problem, not my stuff. Yeah, there's some sort of transition happening for sure. So there's the artwork. Yeah, it's the same. Okay, I'll chase that down tomorrow morning. Right then. So, thank you everyone for stopping by. Thoroughly enjoyed your company as always. We got through most of that. I think it's a bit of a stretch to do the Mate tweak stuff. But what I'm going to be doing now is, after we finish this stream, I'll be jumping into the Discord, the Wimpy's World Discord. Invite link in the description below. And I'll be hopping into the community centre to have a chat. So if you've got any follow-on questions or just want a general Linuxy Ubuntu chat or a chat about anything else, then that's where we'll be. So hop into the Discord and I will see you all there in a few minutes. And by a few minutes, I will end the stream, go and get a beer, and then join the Discord. So thank you everyone for stopping by. That was absolutely fabulous. Thank you for spotting my typos and helping me through all of that. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.